Good morning to the Board of Commissioners and to the citizens of Douglas County. Welcome to our August 16th, 2022, Tuesday special call meeting. It is now 10:01 a.m. and thank you for being here this morning. This morning, our purpose for being here is a public hearing regarding our millage rate. The Board of Commissioners are proposing to keep the millage rate the same, which is 12.563. And this morning, we do have the luxury of having our Chief Financial Officer here this morning, Mrs. Ramona Bivens, and she's here, Board of Commissioners, and I would like for her to just present, and then, of course, I will open the public hearing.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, Deputy County Administrator Perry, Assistant County Administrator Stuart Stanley, Department heads and citizens of Douglas County. Each year, the levying authority or each local government is required to set the millage rate to support the approved budget. Per state law, if the recommended millage rate is above the rollback rate, we are required to hold 3 public hearings. This is the first of the 3 public hearings on the proposed millage rate. I want to give a little background on the property taxes. So what is a digest? The digest, hold on. Here we go. The digest is the net assessed value of real property, which consists of land, buildings, or anything that's erected or growing on or affixed to the land. Also, a personal property, which is your non-real estate items such as inventories, livestock, machinery and equipment, timber, mobile homes, and heavy-duty equipment. As I stated, the millage rate is established each year by the each government agency that has levying authority. The rollback rate is a millage rate that we're required to calculate that we raise the same amount of revenue as last year if applied to the current value of the property taxes of the property that was on last year's tax digest. In other words, it would be considered revenue neutral. Oops, I went too far. So this year, as Madam Chair stated, the board, during the last couple of weeks ago, they had a mid-year workshop. They, by majority consensus, would like to maintain the millage rate at 12.56, which is 0.636 above the rollback rate of 11.927. So when this occurs, it is considered a tax increase due to the growth in the assessments of the property values. This shows the property tax digest for the last 5 years, and if you look at compared to 2021, the county has experienced $862 million increase in property values due to growth in reassessment. It's about a 16% increase over the previous year. So the total estimated taxes levied for this year will be $75.4 million, which is approximately $10.8 million more than the previous year's levy. So how does this affect, or how does this impact a property owner? This shows for a home with a fair market value of $160,000, the assessed value would be $64,000, which is 40% of the $160,000. And once you apply the homestead exemption, you get a taxable value of $58,000. If we were to go with the rollback rate, that homeowner would pay $691.77. However, because the board is recommending going with the current millage rate of 12.563, that homeowner would pay $728.65, which is $36.89 more than if we went to the rollback rate. So how are your tax dollars being spent? This chart shows the categories of expenses that your tax dollars fund. And as you can see, the majority is supporting public safety at 35% of the total expenses. The general government is at 27%, with judicial at 17%, and the remaining categories are less than 10% of the total budget. One of the things we just want to bring to everyone's attention are the capital requirements. The board has a policy that 25% of unassigned fund balance is assigned to support capital improvements and/or public safety pay incentives. So any excess revenues that we have at the end of the year will be assigned according to the board established policy. Again, this is the first of 3 required public hearings. We will have the second public hearing this evening at 6 p.m. during the regular legislative meeting. And then on August 25th at 10 a.m. here in Citizens Hall, we will have the third public hearing, followed by the adoption of the millage rate by the board. And Madam Chair, Commissioners, this is all that I have today, and I yield back to Madam Chair for any questions that the board may have.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Bivens. Certainly, I may call upon you in a few minutes, but I'm preparing to open the
Okay.
public hearing. Certainly, Board of
Thank you.
Commissioners, I missed my mark this morning on calling roll, and I apologize. I do have to my left Vice Chairman and District 2 Commissioner Kelly Robinson, and to his left is District 4 Commissioner Ann Jones-Guider. It's my understanding that we have 2 commissioners that are not here today, but we do have an established quorum, so I want to make that known for the record, Clerk. Okay, I apologize. Just got out of the gate a little early with this public hearing. All right, Board of Commissioners, are you in a position for me to open the public hearing? Okay. This public hearing is now open. Anyone here to speak on behalf of this millage rate proposal, please come forth. Do we have anybody here to speak on behalf? Okay. Anyone here to speak against the millage rate proposal? Being none, this public hearing is closed, now closed. All right, Board of Commissioners, you have any questions for Ms. Bivens? None? Okay. Well, Board of Commissioners, that brings our public hearing to a close. And to the citizens of Douglas County, thank you this morning for your engagement. And we'll have another public hearing this evening at our BOC Board of Commissioners legislative voting meeting today at 6 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you. It'll be here live in Citizen Hall. Thank you. And Board of Commissioners, I'll see you soon. And this meeting is adjourned. This special call meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Okay.